So, what's good, everybody? Welcome to DBL Live, the number one place to get news and information related to law, hip hop, and the culture. I'm the dope black lawyer, Josh Jones, ESQ, and I'm here today. Happy to be with you. Before we get started, we are going to talk about Gunna and Trump, and they have something in common. So, stay tuned to find out. Everybody has a theory about Gunna, and him and Trump have some in common that we're going to talk about today. So stay tuned. Let us know right now. As you know, we're live every week from the 3:05 on Thursdays at 3, and let us know where you're watching from right now. So uh, there's nobody live right now, so everybody type replay when you come on and let us know where you're watching from. So it's been a crazy week for me. I actually just got back on Monday from a wedding, and it's just been back to back to back. School started last week on Thursday, so we just getting used to that new routine. Let us know as well. Do you have kids? Are your kids in school? Are you a student? What's going on? What's keeping you busy this week? But I've been in the office, been working with the staff, working with the team, and everybody's just working towards the goals that we have as a law firm. So I don't just do content. I actually am a lawyer, and we do personal injury car crash cases, and we also now are doing some um, business work for small business owners as well. So so that's something else that we got going right now as well. But giving people a chance to kind of get in here a little bit, but it's going well so far this week. And now we're gonna go ahead and just jump straight into the stories that we have for this week. So we already kind of talked about it. Welcome to DBL Live. I am dope black lawyer Josh Jones, DSQ. We're gonna kick it off. We're gonna talk about Cardi B, who seems to be on this show quite a bit. Barty Gang, get ready. She's about to boss up on another. Um, I don't know if this person is trying to be an influencer. I don't know if they're just somebody who's just posting on YouTube recklessly. But um, as you can see, somebody named Ashton was on Twitter or X or whatever it is this week, talking about Offset has allegedly cheated on Cardi B once again. How embarrassing. Cardi just got Cardi just copyrighted my tweet. Bitch, you mad at me when you need to be mad at that NIGGA that's cheating on you. And the streets saying it's true, but IDK. So Cardi has already said that it's not true. She says that she believes there's actually some type of AI, artificial intelligence, involved with this. She said the dude on the pictures is skinnier than Offset, doesn't have the blonde tips on his dreads like Offset, and she says that it's clearly not him. And then she's also quoted as saying, "So you guys are going to receive a letter from his lawyer talking about Offset because all these little games that you guys want to play online is going to be over with." And I believe her because if you remember, we talked about it previously, but she had another lawsuit against the content creator who, for defamation, for saying things about her that she was able to show were not true, related to her having STDs and other things. And she was awarded a $4 million judgment. And not only was she awarded this, not only did she take the time as a, a celebrity to file the lawsuit, she took it all the way through to a trial, got a verdict, and has even attempted to collect on the verdict by garnishing the influencer Tasha K's wages and bank statements. So you would think that if somebody has already done this to you, that you would probably, I wouldn't even say nothing else about them. You would think that's what somebody would do. But Tasha K, apparently, while researching this topic, I saw is still talking about Cardi B. She was talking about when Cardi B was seen posing with guns online after Takeoff, one of the other Migos who was cousins with her husband Offset. Um, basically saying he got killed by gun violence. You would think she wouldn't be on here um, with posing with guns. So Cardi came back and said, "And Tasha K, with your despicable ass, to bring up Takeoff to prove a fake ass point is disgusting. I lost weight. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Me and my man still dealing with that to this day. So she said, I'm a rapper. We are targeted all the time. So I have guns for protection. But since you want to be funny for comments, I'm going to make sure your kids don't go to college. Do you think my lawyers don't know you hiding money in Africa? I'm going to make sure I get every red cent of the 4 mil. So what's the point here? You can't match legal armies with people like Cardi B or these big companies. So it's better to not get into the mix. Don't say things just to go viral to try to get clout online, because if the celebrities start to fight back against the everyday people who are just posting things as if they are facts, everyday people could be in a lot of trouble. So definitely don't talk about Cardi B. Don't make up stuff about other celebrities as well. It's important to be careful what you're saying. Make sure that you know it to be true, or to say, at least say that it's alleged, or you got this information from another source. But definitely don't just be out here making up stuff for clout. So um, Cardi B is already on it. She had a voice memo. I was gonna play it, but I'm not gonna play it. But she's like, I know your dad's name, and you worked at such and such, so and so, and whoop de woo. Like she's all on it. So she knows who these people are, and she's really gonna send a letter. I'm confident of that. And if she says she's gonna file a lawsuit, I believe that too. So give me just 1 second, and then we're gonna move on to the next story. All right, which is in the same vein as what we are already talking about, is dealing with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush actually just yesterday filed a defamation case of his own against the NCAA. So the NCAA is the governing body for collegiate sports at the highest level, and a couple of years ago they started allowing players to make money off of their name, image, and likeness, known as NIL deals, where you can have endorsements and you can have agents or whoever to negotiate deals for you. So Reggie Bush, when this happened, if you remember back in the day, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was on a really good team at USC that won. I think they won 2 national championships, and he was a very prolific player. So he ended up giving back his Heisman Trophy to the Heisman Foundation after it came out that his family was given impermissible benefits while he was in college. So when you're in college, you can't. Back then, you could not get paid at all in any way by anybody. So you had to take your scholarship, and then they gave players little stipends. But now the players can make millions of dollars if they're good enough and people want them to endorse their products. So at the time when the NIL deals came out, Reggie was hoping that he would be able to maybe have his records reinstated, get his Heisman Trophy back. And one of the NCAA reps made a statement saying that Reggie Bush was involved in a pay-for-play It was involved in a pay-for-play arrangement, so that it was unlikely he would probably get his records back. So Bush came out and made a statement saying, quote, most recently, the NCAA has made a statement about me, accusing me of engaging in a pay-for-play arrangement, which is 100% not true. Not only is it not true, but there is no evidence to even support that claim. So he said that yesterday in a press conference at the LA Memorial Coliseum. And pay for play insinuates that the school actually was the ones that paid him the money. Like, let's say if you've ever seen a movie like Blue Chips, when Shaq and Penny Hardaway were on the movie, or Ray Allen and He Got Game, or something like that, where the school may give a player or a player's relative like a duffel bag full of money. That would be a pay for play. And what's alleged with Reggie Bush is that people who are not affiliated with the school were the ones who were paying Reggie Bush. One of the guys was doing it in hopes of being Reggie Bush's agent when he decided to finally go pro. So now that Reggie Bush has filed this lawsuit, he filed it where he lives in Indiana. Reggie will have to show that a couple of things. About one, that the NCAA made a defamatory statement about him. Two, that they published this statement, which only means that they communicated it to at least one person. So if they said it in a press conference, it's definitely a published statement. 3, the defendant made the statement with knowledge that it was false or with reckless disregard of if it was false. So reckless disregard is just totally not caring whether there was any validity to it or not. And 4, the plaintiff suffered damages such as loss of reputation, lost wages, or emotional distress. So tell me, what do you think? Do you think that Reggie Bush is going to be able to show that the NCAA defamed him, or do you think the NCAA defamed him by saying that he was involved in a pay-for-play situation? Go ahead and leave a comment, and let's talk about it in the comments. All right. So moving on, we talked about it last week, but King Von, being in the center of a murderous Chicago situation with FBG Duck, and the murder, him dying also at the hands of Lil Tim, is what was alleged. Well, Lil Tim's attorney came out and made a statement saying that all charges have been dropped against Lil Tim even before they ever had an indictment. So remember, we talked about there being a shootout outside of a hookah lounge in Atlanta November 2020 during COVID, and King Von, along with 2 other people, lost their lives. So it's been reported by Lil Tim's attorney the charges are dropped, and he does face charges for other things, but as far as it goes with this murder case, it's over. Asian Doll, who was Lil Von's girlfriend, reacted to the rumors of the charges being dropped, and she says because the police said Tim ain't kill him, the police did. So there's no punctuation, but apparently she's saying the police are the ones who killed him, which there is video. I didn't watch the video of kind of what happened, and it is possible that the police may have shot as well. And essentially, if someone dies during the commission or while a felony is being committed, even if the police or somebody else actually was the killer, you could be charged with the murder under the felony murder rule, which is something we've also talked about. So just because you didn't actually kill somebody or you didn't intend to kill somebody, you can still be on the hook for the crime of murder if somebody dies while you're in the middle of another felony like a robbery or a kidnapping or anything like that. So hopefully everybody can heal. It seems like there's been a lot of trauma on every side related to this incident with King Von and FBG Duck and Quando Rondo and Lil Tim and Asian Doll. She has even gone on. She was on and said that she's still dealing with a lot of trauma as well related to this incident when she was talking on another celebrity's platform, a few months after this happened. And it seems like she's still going through a lot as well. So hopefully everybody could just heal and people can learn to not pick up the guns and, figure out other ways to handle their situations. Maybe go back to the days when, you could shoot a fade, squabble, whatever you want to call it, and it just be over with, But apparently those aren't the days we live in. So maybe we can get back to that. So now, staying in Atlanta, you see Trump, you see Gunna, and then you see the cheese. So a lot of people are believing that Gunna ratted on Young Thug and YSL in the big RICO case they have in Fulton County. Well, the same DA in Fulton County has also brought a RICO case against Trump and some of his homies for election fraud, saying they were trying to overturn the election after the 2020 election. And why this is relevant, besides the fact that it's another RICO case with Gunna, is because Trump has hired Gunna's lawyer. And it is famously known that Gunna is no longer facing the charges. He has already been sentenced because he accepted what is known as an Alford plea last year around December. So because of this, the streets have definitely turned on Gunna because everybody believes he ratted out his crew. So based on information has been released, there's no reason to actually believe that Gunna is a rat because nothing has been released. So let's just kind of talk about what an Alford plea is. Um, so an Alford plea is a type of guilty plea in which the defendant does not actually admit to committing the crime, but agrees to accept a conviction for the crime. So it's kind of a cool way for the defendant to not admit guilt, so they kind of maintain their innocence. They never say they're guilty, but to also get um, the case, kind of take over with. Usually, you're going to get a reduced sentence for, you're not going to just take a deal like this if you're going to still face a hefty sentence. So you're going to have some type of time reduced from the sentence, and in order to do this, the defendant must go to court where they don't admit that they're guilty, but they tell the judge that they believe the prosecution has enough evidence to convict them of a crime beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the standard for a conviction in criminal court. So the judge has to find that the defendant has a bona fide basis for their belief that they are innocent. So you get to maintain that you believe you're innocent, but you think that you could be convicted. So you don't want to take your chances of being convicted later on. So if the judge accepts it, the defendant is convicted of the crime and they are sentenced just as if they had pled guilty normally. So the only thing about it is the defendant is able to maintain their innocence, and the plea can't be used against them in a civil case. So those are the reasons why somebody may decide that they want to take an Alford plea, right? So now he's home. He's been sentenced to, like, I think he has a suspended sentence. It's like 5 years, which is significantly less. But Gunna has been very, very adamant about saying that he did not snitch. So Gunna has stated that, quote, "While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or to be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. My focus of YSL was entertainment, rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life in the Black community." So, he's saying that he was only a part of the YSL music side. If there was a criminal enterprise side, he's saying basically I'm just the actor. You know what I'm saying? We play thugs for the music. You know what I'm saying? And now I've seen video where, whether it's because he's a snitch, whether it's because it's known that he's not really living the lifestyle that he portrays on TV, when his music came on in this club in the A, I seen the whole dance floor clear out. You would have thought somebody was you'd have thought somebody was shooting the way everybody ran off that dance floor. I mean, everybody dipped. So I don't know if he snitched. It would probably at some point come out if he really had snitched, or if he does end up testifying against Young Thug or anybody else from YSL. We will get to see. So the YSL RICO trial they've been picking a jury since like January, which is crazy. They haven't picked one juror. So once we get beyond that, we'll get a chance to see what happens. So I don't know if they'll accept the deal, if they would even make a deal like that for Trump. This DA seems to really have her sights set on, convicting Trump. She's saying that they'll have this case done in 6 months. Like I said, they've been picking a jury for longer than 6 months for the Young Thug trial, and Trump and his some of his conspirators are way more famous than Thug. So I can't imagine that they would actually be able to do that. But we'll see. All right. So Halley Berry was married for like a year. She got married in like 2015, 2014, somewhere in there. In 2015, her and her husband both filed separately, citing irreconcilable differences. All right. Now their son is 9 years old, and the parties have agreed to share joint legal custody. And Halley will still have to pay $8,000 per month in child support to this um, guy who she was married to, who's also an actor, obviously less famous and less successful. Um, this is Halley's third marriage to end in a divorce. I don't really know much about the other guy, but wish all the parties the best of luck, especially their 9-year-old Maceo. But just goes to show, if you got to be careful who you get married to. There's no alimony or anything here, but if you come into a marriage where the money is not equal, you probably need to have a prenup. It looks like they may have, because he's not getting any type of alimony, and there wasn't really any effort. It doesn't appear for that to have happened. But another thing is, you don't see it that often where the women paid child support like that. So I see all the time all the guys who the Kevin Samuel bros and all that talking about how high the child support is for the guys, and you don't see it in reverse. But I mean, that's simply not really true. You don't see it that much in reverse because most of the time the women are the ones who keep the children for the majority of the time. If they don't have equal time sharing, a lot of times you'll see where women have the children more. Therefore, the fathers are the ones who pay child support. Kind of makes sense if you think about it from that perspective. But when it flips, women pay child support too. So this is an example of that. But tell us what you think. Do you think that women are not paying child support at the same level of men? I will say, for someone with the type of income for Halley Berry, $8,000 a month is not that bad, but I don't think that it's unreasonable. So let us know what you think. We try to keep this episode a little short, switching up the format just a little bit. If you have any stories that we did not talk about that you want to know about, let me know, and we will talk about those stories so that we can make this show your show, because that's really why we do it, to educate and entertain the people out here who are watching DBL live, where we break down the most relevant stories in law and hip hop. So I'm not gonna hold you. We are at the end of the show. If you have any questions or anything, you can hit us up on social media. Dope Black Lawyer on Threads, on Instagram, on Twitter. We're already on YouTube, so obviously on YouTube. And follow us. And if you need help with a case or anything, you can send us a DM so that we can reach back out to you and get you the legal support that you're looking for. Until next week, I'm gonna holler at y'all. So it's been good, and I don't have anything else for you today. But if you have any questions about anything we talked about, just leave a comment, and I will be sure to respond to you. So that's the show for this week.